Welcome to my presentation about myths about gifted education. As you may already know, there are so many myths around gifted education. Today, we are going to look at 3 myths. First myth is all parents think their child is gifted. Second myth is acceleration placement options are socially harmful for gifted students. And the last myth is students can't be gifted if she or he received poor grades. We will look into how and why have these myths emerged, how may these beliefs affect gifted students, and what did the academic research suggested in reversing those myths. Let's listen to this YouTube clip first.
Complain about their teacher from time to time.
Yeah, that was a New Albany family's attitude when their child said his elementary school teacher was mean to him. But after months of hearing him complain about that, the child's mother and stepfather sent him to school with a hidden tape recorder. Wave 3's Mark Schneider joins us with what happened next.
Yes, some compelling and disturbing audio is what happened next. At one point, Jones Elementary teacher Kristen Woodward calls 5-year-old Gabriel Ross pathetic. Now Woodward suspended with pay, and the boy's family is looking to find him another school.
Gabriel, chocolate or white fudge? Come on.
Fudge. I don't like fudge.
5-year-old Gabriel Ross doesn't appear to be a model kindergarten student.
She wrote all of them.
His daily behavior folder he and his parents showed us
Right here.
is filled with phrases like talked nonstop, interrupting the teachers, terrible day, and talked nonstop today. But Gabriel's mother and stepdad say the teacher's response wasn't discipline. It was downright cruelty. Listen.
10 people in this building you have tormented and tortured for 149 days. I'm done. I've been ignorant, selfish, self-absorbed, the whole thing. I'm done.
Then Ms. Woodward addressed her class.
He has made every wrong choice possible, and he has had more help to make right choices. He has chosen not to. So you guys think that's somebody you want to be with? See, your friends don't even want to be with me now.
Gabriel's mother can't believe a teacher said these things to her son.
When you treat a child like they're bad, they're going to be bad.
Gabriel's mother, who also attended this school when she was growing up, says she took her son out of it the day after she heard that recording on April 15th, and he hasn't been back.
That a 5-year-old kid would have to go through something like he did. That's not right. Even if it was a 16-year-old kid, I would still be this upset.
The New Albany Floyd County school system won't comment on personnel matters. They simply confirm they're investigating allegations of serious employee misconduct and Kristen Woodward's unpaid administrative leave.
I pat myself on the back lightly.
Gabriel's stepdad says that recorder he got his son to stick in his pants pocket one day was a smart investment. Now he hopes to get someone smart to help his son's psyche.
We seriously need to find somebody to talk with Gabriel to see if he's all right because of this experience for 149 days. As far as I'm concerned, that's how long it went on.
The Indiana State Teachers Association is standing up for suspended Kristen Woodward, who's taught for 13 years with no problems that we're aware of. They say the school system went too far with the suspension and didn't give Woodward a fair chance to give her side of the story. Mark Schneider, Wave 3 News.
Well, hopefully Marky doesn't know what some of those things mean.
He did not.
All right, thank you.
This YouTube clip shows an incident where a teacher tells students in numerous occasions that he talks non-stop every day and that no other students want to play with him. His mother believed that if someone is treated as the bad, he will be bad. This view is the same in accordance to George Orwell's quote, "Myths that are believed in tend to become true." Now, let's unpack the myths one by one. Myth 1. All parents think their child is gifted. In many occasions, I heard teachers saying that parents always think that their child or children are gifted. This belief emerged because teachers think that so many parents think too highly of their children's abilities, and they do not think that parents know how much about children's developmental milestones. In a way, this belief about parents lacking knowledge in children's developmental milestones is true, because parents do not normally know other children, so they cannot compare their own children's skills with other children. Therefore, parents won't realize that their children's developmental stages are within the norm, behind, or advanced. Even when some parents notice their children's advanced development, most of them do not realize the extent of the advancements. And that's make it difficult for parents to make judgments whether or not their child is gifted. When parents are regarded as biased and exaggerated about their children, gifted students are at risk by not being identified, thus preclude them from receiving appropriate educational challenges. When they are bored and feel that the lessons are not challenging, students may lose interest in learning and underachieve. If this pattern continues, they will develop poor self-efficacy, poor study habits, and negative mindsets, which can affect their attitude toward learning, toward teachers, school, and self. This can affect not only their academic achievements, but also their social and emotional development. Do you agree with this illustration? When students found studying is boring, then they will find learning is useless and school is not a place where they want to be. So, what did the research say about the myth? Research by Gross and Feldhasen and Baska stated that parents' nominations are often more accurate than teachers. In addition, Silverman, Chitwood, and Waters found that using the 120 cut-off score, parents are 100% correct in identifying their children as gifted. So the conclusion here is that teachers need to listen to parents' nominations, parents' opinions, because in most cases, parents know their children best. The second myth that we are going to look into now is acceleration. Acceleration options are socially harmful for gifted students. According to Salton and Jones, there are many myths and misconceptions about acceleration, which include the belief that acceleration threatens social and emotional adaptation. Gifted students should be with students of their own age. In addition, Cross studies found that common worries associated with mixing multi-age children are those children will struggle with exploitation, intimidation, inappropriate modeling, and sexuality. Another reason of why this myth emerged is because educators are unaware of the benefits and types of acceleration and incorrectly believe that it is harmful for students, especially for their social and emotional development. So, what is acceleration? Colangelo, Assolin, and Gross define acceleration as an academic intervention that fast-forwards students through an educational program at a rate faster or at an age that is younger than typical. According to them, acceleration is about creating a better match between a student and the level, complexity, and pace of curriculum. So, how this belief affect gifted students? One of the characteristics of gifted students is their ability to reason at a level that is usually found in a student some years older. Their advanced intellectual development Their reading and play interests and their relative emotional maturity may lead them to seek access to older children who are at similar developmental stages. When gifted students' unique academic, cognitive, and social needs are not being met, then often can result in gifted students feel bored, disengaged, misbehave, or out of place with their age peers. Let's look at the next illustration on the next slide. This picture can represent what can happen to gifted students whose needs actually are not being met. They feel that boredom and frustration actually can cause their heads to explode. So, what did the research say about this myth? The study by Garnier and also Rogers actually found that many students are happier with like-minded peers who share their interests than they are with children of the same age. Furthermore, Coleman and Cross found that gifted students need opportunity to be together with their intellectual peers, no matter what their age differences. In conclusion, acceleration can give students the opportunity to be at the same environment with like-minded students and work together to reach their full potential. When they are working with the like-minded peers, most likely they are more challenged academically. This can prevent students from misbehaving or feeling bored in class, and it can assist those gifted students to engage with the school, to maintain their interest in learning, and also have a positive self-concept. Now let's look at the third myth about gifted students can't be gifted if she or he receive poor grade. Look at this illustration. It says in here that gifted class indeed. One is gifted in science but can't read. One is gifted in reading but won't even try maths. Sounds familiar? In my opinion, this picture represents well this myth. How can someone be gifted when he or she can't read, or when they don't have basic numeracy skills? Gifted students, just like any other students, may underachieve. This belief emerged because educators and parents have lack of knowledge of gifted education, including not having a clear understanding of what gifted and talented means. As a result, some gifted underachievers are not being identified or not being provided with appropriate service provisions. To tackle this myth, educators must understand what underachievement means. According to Race and McCoach, underachievement is a discrepancy between ability and achievement, or a gap between performance and potential. And Rim stated that statistically, about 50% of gifted students do not perform well compared to their potential. This is quite a concerning number. As educators, we must understand the roots of this problem as they differ based on each child's experiences. Gifted students may become bored or frustrated in an unchallenging classroom situation, and it can cause them to lose interest, cause them to learn bad study habits, or distrust the school environment. Other students may mask their abilities to try to fit in socially with their same age peers. Still, others may have a learning disability that masks their giftedness. Many research have found different causes of underachievement. For example, Gross believed that unsupportive learning environment is the cause of underachievement. Rogers believes that remastery is the cause of underachievement. Matthew and McBee believes that the incompatible curriculum and unsupportive school environments are the causes of underachievement. McCoach and Siegel believes that low self-motivation is the cause of underachievement. And David and Rims believe that learning disability is the cause of underachievement. Regardless of why a gifted student may be underachieving or to what extent he or she is underachieving, the child is still gifted, meaning he or she has the potential based on effective identification to achieve at high levels. When educators believe this myth, gifted underachievers will miss on the opportunity for being identified, and as a result, they won't be provided with appropriate service provisions. What did the research suggest to tackle this problem? There are a number of views on the most effective ways to resolve underachievement. To tackle the problems of underachievement, educators must have a clear understanding of what gifted and talented means and the identification process. Unfortunately, the definition of giftedness and talents are always vague and are causing much confusion among professionals and educators when discussing the concept of underachievers. Luckily, Gagne attempted to provide differentiation between gifted and talents through his model of differentiated of giftedness and talents. Gagne defines giftedness as the possession and use of outstanding natural abilities called aptitude in at least one ability domain to a degree that places an individual at least among the top 10% of its peers. And he defined talents as the outstanding mastery of systematically developed abilities called competency or knowledge and skills in at least one field of human activity to a degree that places an individual at least among the top 10% of its peers who are or have been active in that field. The differentiated model of giftedness and talent has captured the concept of underachievement as the difference between giftedness and talent. The differentiated model of giftedness and talent clearly showed that the gift does not automatically become talent and that catalyst plays a crucial role in transforming gift to talent. Without catalysts, gifts will not become talents. There are different categories of catalysts: environmental, intrapersonal, and chance. Each catalyst values different aspects. The environmental catalyst values one's personal background, provision, and significant people, including parents, teachers, peers, and others in the developmental process. The intrapersonal catalyst values one's personal traits and goal management, while the chance catalyst values luck in the process. To assist educators in identifying the common underachievement characteristics such as low motivation and low self-regulations, Betts and Neihardt developed a chart which displayed the types of students based on the feelings and attitude, behavior, needs, and adult and peers' perceptions. The chart also contains suggestions on the identification assessment tools, home and school support. A study by Rees, Baum, and Berg believed that the effective approaches to reverse the underachievements are by focusing on the student's strengths, interests, and the development of the giftedness. And Rim believed that it is possible to reverse the underachievement by having a strong collaboration between parents and school in supporting the students who are underachieving. Rim created a trifocal model that shows the importance of strong collaboration between parents and school to cure underachievement. So first it starts with assessment and then communication, changing expectation, and then role model identification, correction of deficiencies, modification at home and school, and then confirming and non-confirming dependent, confirming dominant, and non-confirming dominant. The final conclusion is do not believe in myths as it clouds our perception on the real things. We educators must ensure that our actions are based on the facts and not myths. Let's unwrapping the giftedness by asking our student to continue this sentence. I wish my teacher knew. Thank you for listening and hope you'll benefit from this presentation.